This happened not even a month ago. I'm a senior in high school, born and raised in Nevada, a place that feels like it was built for ghosts. There's not much to do around here except get creative with boredom, and for us, that meant urban exploring. We weren't vandals. We didn't spray paint or smash windows. We just wanted to feel something real. We'd climb fences, sneak through forgotten hallways, crawl under rusted gates, chasing the strange beauty in decay. Old service tunnels, dead malls, shuttered motels, the kind of places where time itself seemed to hold its breath. The ringleader of our little crew was Charles. He was quiet, intense, the kind of guy who looked like he was born to find trouble. Somehow, he always knew about the weirdest places before anyone else. He'd show up with grainy photos or a GPS pin, and we'd just trust him. Half the time, I didn't even ask how he found these places. It was like he knew where the shadows gathered. One day, Charles sent us a screenshot from a sketchy Instagram account. Barely any followers. Blurry photos of desert ruins. Captions written like cryptic warnings. The post that caught his eye said, "Dozens of abandoned mine shafts in the Mojave Desert, if you know where to look." According to Charles, he'd already been talking to whoever ran the page. They'd sent him coordinates. That was all he needed to hear. By Saturday morning, we were packed and heading south, me, driving my old Jeep Wrangler, Charles riding shotgun, and James, our third wheel, sprawled in the back seat complaining about the heat. We didn't have an address. Just a pin dropped in the middle of nowhere. Half an hour after we turned off the highway, the dirt road stopped pretending to be a road at all. The landscape around us looked like a painting done in shades of bone and rust. No signs, no landmarks, just endless emptiness. James got restless first. "This is bullshit," he muttered. "Charles, you got catfished by a ghost account." But Charles, staring out the window like a man possessed, just said, "We're close." "I can feel it." I rolled my eyes but kept driving. We were about to give up when James suddenly pointed out the window. At first, it looked like more desert rock, but then we saw it. A collapsed wooden frame built into a slope. The ground around it dipped sharply, revealing a dark, jagged hole beyond the splintered beams. It wasn't a large, just wide enough for a person to crawl through, but the structure around it was clearly man-made. We'd found a mine. Charles grinned for the first time that day. "Told you," he said. I parked a few yards away, on flat ground. The air was still, heavy with that dry mineral scent that burns the nose. Charles had come prepared, flashlights, gloves, even dust masks. When he tossed them at us, I realized he hadn't just planned this trip, he'd been waiting for it. The three of us stood at the entrance, peering into the black. Charles picked up a rock and tossed it inside. We waited. 1, 2, 3 clanks, then silence. It was deep. Charles smirked. "If you slip, you're dead." That was his way of saying, "Let's go." The descent wasn't a straight drop, it sloped downward like a throat swallowing us whole. The dirt was loose, sliding under our boots. Old wooden supports jutted from the walls, some still standing, others half buried in collapse. The deeper we went, the colder the air became, dry, stale, metallic. When the last trace of sunlight vanished behind us, I realized how deep we really were. The tunnel leveled out, splitting into several branching shafts. Rusted rails disappeared under dust. Broken tools and chunks of iron littered the ground like offerings to something long gone. We walked in silence, our flashlight beams slicing through the dark. There wasn't much to see, just the bones of history, until we heard it. A faint sound, something being dragged. At first, I thought it was the wind, except there wasn't any. Then it came again, slow, rhythmic, something heavy scraping along the dirt. Charles froze mid-step. James raised a hand and whispered, "Turn off your lights." We did. Instant blackness. The kind that presses against your eyes. The dragging continued closer this time, echoing through the tunnel like something alive. The sound changed pitch as it moved, like whatever was making it was adjusting shifting weight. I felt my pulse in my ears. No one breathed. Then, clang. A sudden, violent metallic bang echoed from deeper inside. The sound was followed by a scream-long, guttural, animalistic. It wasn't human. It couldn't be. We ran. Our boots slammed against dirt and stone, the beams of our flashlights bouncing wildly. I didn't dare look back, but I could hear footsteps or something like them pounding behind us. My foot caught on a rail, and I went down hard. Pain shot through my ankle, and I felt my shoe rip off. "Go!" I shouted, but James turned back, grabbing my arm. We scrambled toward the slope, half climbing, half crawling. Every step burned. My bare foot tore open on splinters. Charles was already near the top, yelling something I couldn't hear over my heartbeat. I didn't stop until the sun hit my face. When I stumbled out of that hole, gasping for air, I could feel the world again, the wind, the warmth, the silence. We didn't speak as we limped back to the Jeep. James drove. I sat in the passenger seat, foot bleeding, staring out the window as the mine disappeared behind us. At the hospital, they pulled shards of wood and glass from my foot. The doctor said I was lucky. I didn't feel lucky. A few days later, James texted us. He'd lost his wallet at the site, wanted to go back, just to the entrance. Against all logic, I agreed. I told myself I needed closure. When we got there, the desert was as empty as before. My Jeep's tire tracks had already been erased by the wind. No wallet. No signs of anyone. But there, sitting neatly in the sand near the entrance, was my missing shoe. It was torn apart, shredded down the middle like something had chewed through it. Deep impressions, teeth marks. I didn't pick it up. Charles crouched beside it, flashlight trembling in his hand. "You think that was an animal?" he whispered. I didn't answer. We left without saying another word. That night, Charles tried messaging the Instagram account again. No reply. The page was gone. I don't know what was down there, but I know this, whatever it was. It watched us leave. And it let us go.